Welcome to the YouTube podcast channel of DUONG HUYEN BI. Today, we will explore the life and the sorrowful yet glorious death of Saint Lawrence, the martyr deacon of the Universal Catholic Church.
Saint Lawrence, according to these legends, Lawrence was born in Spain, perhaps at Osca in Aragon, near the foot of the Pyrenees Mountains. Both of his parents are believed to have been martyrs. As a youth, he is said to have been brilliant, studying humanities and theology in Zaragoza, where he met the future Pope Saint Sixtus II. After Lawrence completed his studies, he and the future Pope traveled to Rome. In Rome, Lawrence was ordained one of the city's 7 deacons, most likely as the head of the 7 deacons, the Archdeacon of Rome. As Archdeacon, Lawrence was put in charge of the church's material possessions and was responsible for distributing alms to the poor. By the time Pope Sixtus II was elected pope in 257, he and Deacon Lawrence are believed to have had a strong friendship. In 253, Valerian became the Roman emperor. At first, he tolerated Christians. However, in 257 he issued an edict that began a fierce persecution of the church. Saint Cyril, then the bishop of Carthage, North Africa, who also died a martyr under Valerian, described the persecution this way: "The Emperor Valerian has consigned to the Senate a decree by which he has determined that all bishops, priests and deacons will be immediately put to death. I communicate to you that Sixtus suffered martyrdom on August 6 together with 4 deacons while they were in a cemetery." The Roman authorities have established a norm according to which all Christians who have been denounced must be executed and their goods confiscated by the imperial treasury. The Liber Pontificalis identifies 2 other deacons who were martyred with Pope Sixtus, for a total of 6 deacons on August 6, 258, Januarius, Vincentius, Magnus, Stephanus, Felicissimus, and Agapetus. According to St. Ambrose's account, Deacon Lawrence was martyred 4 days after his close friend and spiritual father, Pope Sixtus II, and the other deacons who were put to death. Ambrose records this exchange between the 2 prior to the Pope's execution. Saint Lawrence wept when he saw his bishop, Sixtus, led out to his martyrdom. He wept not because he was According to St. Ambrose's account, Deacon Lawrence was martyred 4 days after his close friend and spiritual father, Pope Sixtus II, and the other deacons who were put to death. Ambrose records this exchange between the 2 prior to the Pope's execution. Saint Lawrence wept when he saw his bishop, Sixtus, led out to his martyrdom. He wept not because he was being led out to die, but because he would survive Sixtus. He cried out to him in a loud voice, "Where are you going, Father, without your son? Where do you hasten to, holy bishop, without your deacon? You cannot offer sacrifice without a minister." Ambrose records Pope Sixtus as responding, "I will not leave you, I will not abandon you, my son. More difficult trials are kept for you. A shorter race is set for us who are older. For you who are young a more glorious triumph over tyranny is reserved. Soon, you will see, cry no more, after 3 days you will follow me." After Pope Sixtus and the other deacons were martyred, Deacon Lawrence was arrested. Because he was in charge of the riches of the church, the prefect of Rome demanded that Deacon Lawrence hand over to him all the treasures of the church. Lawrence requested 3 days to gather them, during which time he distributed all he could to the poor. After 3 days, Deacon Lawrence appeared again before the prefect and pointed to the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the suffering of Rome, saying, "These are the treasures of the church." This infuriated the prefect, who had anticipated receiving gold and silver. he ordered that Deacon Lawrence be burned on a gridiron. St. Ambrose records Deacon Lawrence's last act of heroic virtue and defiance of diabolical oppression this way. However, after 3 days he was placed upon the gridiron by the tyrant whom he mocked, and was burnt. He said, "The flesh is roasted, turn it and eat." So by the courage of his mind he overcame the power of fire. Having died a martyr for Christ, St. Lawrence is the patron of deacons, chefs and firefighters. Around the time of his feast day, which is celebrated on August 10th, the night sky is lit with bright lights. The phenomenon is related to the passing of a meteorite swarm left by a comet. For folk tradition, these lights are falling stars, tears St. Lawrence shed during his martyrdom. From martyrdom to glory, St. Lawrence's martyrdom is a supreme testament to love. St. Leo the Great, in a homily, commented on the condemnation of St. Lawrence: "The flames could not overcome the charity of Christ, and the fire burning him without was weaker than the one he had burning within him." St. Leo adds, "The Lord has desired to exalt his glorious name in the world so much that from the east to the west, in the lively flaring of the light radiated by the greatest deacons, the same glory that came to Jerusalem from Stephen has also touched Rome thanks to Lawrence." The Basilica of St. Lawrence and the church in Panisperna. After his death, the body of St. Lawrence was laid in a tomb on the Via Tiburtina. In this place, Emperor Constantine erected a basilica that was restored in the 20th century after damage caused during World War II by the U.S. bombing of Rome on July 19, 1943. In the place of his martyrdom was built the Church of San Lorenzo in Panisperna. According to some sources, the name derives from the custom of Franciscan friars and poor clares, of distributing bread and ham, panis et perna, to the poor on August 10, St. Lawrence's feast day.